Hey guys, welcome back to Ranger Survival and Fieldcraft. I'm Andrew. What I have for you today is a look at the packing list for the student loadout at the next Scout or Intermediate Survival course out of the Pathfinder School. Stand by. Alright guys, so I finally get to go back out to the Pathfinder School to help instruct the next intermediate class at the end of this month. The Intermediate Survival course is in between that basic course and that advanced course, so it's got stress. You're given water, you're going to have some food, but the stress is taken up a notch with time tasks, with deliverables, with grading criteria, and then very long hours and a lot of work, a lot of walking, and a lot of resource gathering, a lot of skills. So it's a great course, great training opportunity. Happy to be able to go back out there and finally get back to instructing after about a year or so off. So everything here before you is what the students are going to take to the course. Some of these items can vary depending on different items. Like with our Swiss Army knife here, we could actually take a multi-tool if we wanted to. But most of these items are going to be what the students are going to take with them, with maybe some minor tweaks here and there. So let's go over these items right now. All right, we'll start at this end, the fun end, because the tools are right here. Now, first off, one thing to have on the packing list that was different from when I went through the intermediate course was food rations. They're allowed to have 2 days worth of backpacker meals, or at least that's what it looks like on the packing list. So they're going to have food. Next, they're going to have 2 water bottles, metal canteens or bottles with only 1 cup. So you have 2 bottles, 1 cup. Stainless steel, so you can boil water in these and stay hydrated. You're going to collect that water yourself, bring it back to camp, get a fire going, and treat that water to make it safe to drink. And then to help aid in that water safety or procurement and then processing, they're going to have a millbank bag. Millbank bags were made up military personnel, and these bags are canvas, tightly woven, that act as a strainer and a filter to help strain and take out all the turbidity in that water. You soak this thing in water for a while, then you can hang it up by the cord, put your water in it, and then let it drip from the bottom here into either your canteen or cup. It's going to strain that water, but we still want to boil that water in our stainless steel canteen. So this is going to act as a strainer more than a filter. But these have been used for a long, long time. Still very good at taking out all that muck and gunk. Plus, you can turn this thing inside out, get all the mud and crap and sticks out, clean it off in the water, and it'll still work. So we've got our food and our water. And so moving down the line, we're going to come into firecraft, tools, land navigation, cordage, and some utility items. That first item for our tools is going to be a knife, and we're going to stick with the Pathfinder methodology or criteria for a survival knife. It's going to be full tang, high carbon steel, 90-degree spine, so you can hit that ferro rod and drive sparks. This is the Pathfinder survival knife, so it's going to be a good stout knife, very thick. Scandi grind, sharp edge for carving and processing. Plus we can use it to baton with. So a knife like this, roughly 5 inches in cutting surface length right there to cut and process material, break through that material, break it down for firecraft, and then finally for toolcraft, campcraft, everything that we're going to need. So a large knife like this, belt knife, with a good sheath. Next it calls for a folding saw, and so here we just have the Silky Pocket Boy. This is a great tool to have as well. We probably don't need a very large saw to take down material. Everything they're going to be working with is going to be 3 to 5 inches in diameter material from what I understand. But this blade will take down that material very easily. It's a pull saw, meaning that we push the sawdust out of the kerf, we draw, and we actually cut more material out. And that saw blade is high carbon steel as well, so we can drive sparks off of it with a rock. Next it calls for a Swiss Army knife or for a multi-tool. So here we just have that Swiss Army Ranger, a large knife, great for cutting and processing. And then that pocket saw, great for taking down material as well. And it's got the obligatory can and bottle opener, screwdriver, all that good stuff. The other item on the back is that reamer or that awl. Great tool for bushcrafting. Having one of these means we can drill through different material and create different tools. And then obviously you've got your tweezers and your toothpick as part of that. If it were me, I'd probably bring a multi-tool instead. A lot more tools with the pliers and the wire cutters as well. It's an extra hand to get things out of the fire or manipulate fine objects. Plus we can use this to grab cordage if we need to get it tight and cinch it down with those pliers. Utility item, gloves, they're optional. Definitely recommend bringing gloves, especially at the end of August going into the fall time frame. We still have a lot of thick vegetation out there in eastern Ohio. Fire kit, we have a Fresnel lens using the sun's rays to ignite fine tinder material. And then we have a flint and steel kit as well. So we have our steel right here, and then I need to add a rock to my kit, but this is a flint and steel kit that we can use to char material. It's also got the lens right there that we can use. Same thing the Fresnel lens for. You're gonna have a flint and steel kit. There's no ferro rod, there's no lighters, there's no matches, nothing like that. So it's just a primitive fire kit using the sun's rays, solar ignition, and then flint and steel, rocks and steel to drive sparks onto fine tinder char material. Next we've got just a 1-inch roll of tape. This can be used for a lot of different things. Improvisation, clothing repair, gear repair, improvisational band-aids. A lot of things can be used with this. Also tinder. Next we've got our land navigation kit. So you got a good compass. I still need to put my pace beads on my compass, but we're gonna use a Sunto MC2 and make sure yours is the non-engineering one, so it's going to have a 360-degree dial. If you come to the course, sighting mirror, north-seeking arrow, we've got the protractor inside, straight edges. Next we got pencils, and then our notebook. We have the Pathfinder protractor tool, so we can use this with our map. And then of course we've got a headlamp. You're going to want to bring extra batteries with this. It needs to have that red light function as well as that strobe function, and make sure it's waterproof or water resistant. This is going to be something to use at nighttime because we will be camping out away from the schoolhouse, out in the woods. So having a headlamp means we can see in the dark and work in the dark because there's going to be a lot of tasks, a lot of skills to complete, and that means a lot of late nights. Into cordage, we've got 100 feet bank line, always a great cordage. This is a fire and forget cordage in my opinion that we can use for lashing, binding, putting different tools together. Everybody loves bank line. Then we've got 2 6-foot hanks of paracord. I always keep a 6-foot hank of paracord in my pocket anyway, but having 2 of these as utility cordage, they can go in our pocket for a bow drill string or for a fish keeper or a trot line, or using for just a quick setup for any type of field craft or camp craft that we need to get accomplished very quickly. We can use with just a small piece of paracord. And then it calls for a quick deploy ridgeline. Here we got 25 feet of paracord with our interline bowline, our Prusik loops in here with bank line, and then 2 toggles for a quick deploy ridgeline system. We use that to actually put up our shelter. And then we've got 30-foot section of tubular nylon webbing, 1 inch. This is great material for a variety of things. Having a 15-foot section like this is going to be great for a Swiss seat, or for mountaineering. Of course, we're going to forget the carabiner. That's not part of the packing list, but there's a lot of stuff that we can do with tubular nylon webbing. Shelter craft is one of those things. And then we have our haversack to carry around our gear, or for short trips away from camp, away from our main kit, we can go out, collect resources, and then come back. And then speaking of shelter, over here on the far end, we've got our 6 tent stakes. These can actually be used to help make a fire or provide tinder to actually get a fire going. We've got a 6 mil drum liner. These things are super tough, can be used as a standalone poncho if necessary, or can be used as a suspended shelter above the ground to stay dry and stay warm. Next we've got just a basic small poncho. This is one of the cheaper ponchos, a little bit smaller than those military spec ponchos, but still a good piece of kit, and it'll last the course. Also got that grabber space blanket for heated or insulated shelters, something to act as a reflector for that fire to help keep the inside of that shelter warm. Even though it's the end of August, it can still get cold at night, especially if you're dehydrated. If you've been working all day and you haven't had anything to eat, having a warm shelter is still going to be beneficial, even in summertime. Then as part of that shelter, we have that Swagman roll. All right, so these Swagman rolls are great. They're basically a poncho liner on steroids. If you don't have a Swagman roll by now, you're wrong. The Swagman roll is going to be water resistant. It's going to do the same thing as a poncho liner, but it's got a zipper up the side, so not only can you wear it as a poncho, you can actually use it as an underquilt for a hammock. You can use it as a ground mat. You can do the old Ranger burrito combined with your poncho. Snuggle up in and get warm at night. as an improvised shelter, and of course wear it and stay warm. This is a great piece of kit. I actually started taking this out with me in the field for military training, and it's a great piece of kit just to stay warm in, wake up in, and then change out of for the day, get in the field uniform, and then continue operations. And then next it calls for an orange t-shirt, that 3XL t-shirt. This one actually has an old map I drew on the back of it for a different video. But that t-shirt, you can wear it, which the students will probably do so we can see them coming, but it's also a good signal technique. Hang this up as a flag or simply wear it, you become the signal. And you can use it for char material, improvisational bandage, use it as a water strainer as well. A lot of good uses with just a 3XL orange cotton t-shirt. Go along with that cotton material, we have our shemagh. The packing list calls for a shemagh. Definitely go with an orange one if you're coming to the course. That way you can use this or this as a marker for land navigation. And then another thing, it calls for a 30-liter dry bag. So this is a sea-line bag, 30 liters. Actually, I think this one's about 40 liters, so a little bit bigger. But this thing, all your gear can fit in and keep dry. And you can use this as a ground water bladder, fill it up with water from the water source, drag this back to camp. And now you have water waiting for you right there. All you have to do is treat it, make it safe to drink. Or you can use this as a flotation device, use it to fill up with air. Then you can actually sit on this or lay on it at nighttime as an improvised debris bed, or at least to get up off the ground, help insulate you. A lot of good stuff with a sea-line bag that can be accomplished. And of course you saw our ground mat. We have a ground mat that we can sleep on to stay insulated from the earth's surface, stay warm. And then lastly is gonna be hygiene items, extra items. Have an extra pair of socks, I highly recommend. Change out those socks halfway through the course. Keep your feet clean, keep them serviceable so you can keep walking. And then hygiene items, you got your bug spray that ticked off from the apothecary. And then obviously toothbrush and toothpaste so you can brush your fangs early in the morning and start the day out right. And before I forget, of course you're gonna need your number 14 sail needle here for gear repair, combined with maybe your cordage from your bank line, or even the guts from one of those 6-foot hanks of paracord. So don't forget that sail needle. And then you're gonna need a watch of some sort. It needs to be analog though, so it has the actual hands on it instead of a digital watch like mine. You need that analog watch. All right, guys, a very down and dirty video today over the packing list for the intermediate course. I'm super excited to get back out there and continue instructing survival. And I'm looking forward to the trip at the end of the month. And then obviously not looking forward to coming back to reality afterwards. But this is everything the students are gonna bring to the course. They may lose some of these items during the course. Take those away, teach them different techniques or different ways to do things. And some of these items may be taken away and never given back at all. And they may have to improvise or learn a different technique to actually make shelter, firecraft. They're gonna have to do a bow drill, or they're gonna have to learn other techniques for land navigation, improvisational techniques. It's gonna be a great course. Highly, highly recommend Pathfinder survival training. Anyway, guys, I really hope you liked this video. If you did like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment in the comment section. I always appreciate your feedback. I wanna thank you guys for what you can do for me, for this channel, for your likes, your views, your subscriptions, your comments, your feedback, and your shares. And I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks.